They can't take the karma. Now they want to complain. See, when people threw all this dirt on your name, when they threw all this gossip, negativity, witchcraft, right? All these different spiritual manipulations and just treacherous things that they did to you, right? It was all fun and games, right? It was another joke for them to crack in their corny little group chat. But at the end of the day, now that God is dusting you off, now that God is elevating you, now that He's moving you up to higher positions, better places, better people, loving situations, guess what? Now these people have all the complaints in the world, right? Because not only are they going through karma as far as their health, their finances, and everything that I've mentioned in the past, right? But they're going through the worst karma that they could ever imagine, right? Which is seeing you successful, bro. Which is seeing you extremely blessed, sis, right? That is their worst nightmare. They can't stand to see somebody happy. They can't stand to see somebody glowing. They can't stand to see somebody in a position to take care of their people and grow their people, right? Whether it's through wisdom, knowledge, finances, whatever God is blessing you with, it's allowing you to change this world and change lives, starting with yourself. See, because you were able to love on yourself through the thick or the thin, nothing that these people did worked, right? And not only did it not work on you, but it worked on them. And now that they're dealing with all the things that they stirred up against themselves, thinking they were stirring it up against you, now it's, oh, I can't take this anymore. Oh, what's going on? Oh, this person's so bad. They're the reason this, right? But people have already heard that a million times. People don't want to hear that no more. They're smart enough to understand 2 plus 2 equals 4. If you keep doing repetitive, evil actions, foolish actions, right? Corny, treacherous, gossip, lying actions, right? Against somebody who's not doing anything back. They're simply serving God, moving forward, keeping a smile on their face, keeping their heart pure, moving forward with their gifts, staying obedient, taking care of their family, right? All around the board, you have been doing this, chosen ones, right? Which is why God is fighting your battles for you. And right now, it's ugly for these people, right? They're having all type of, cardiovascular, spinal tap cord, you know what I'm saying, electromagnetic spastic, you know what I'm saying, like, they got all type of diseases you wouldn't even think about. And it's sad to say, but as creative as they were about coming up against you, God was just as creative as giving these people the things that they wanted for you, plus more, right? Because you bite off more than you can chew, and you get what you get, right? This is why you're smart enough to know not to even come up against anybody with negative intentions. It doesn't matter if they look like this or they look like this. You don't pedestalize people. You treat everybody the same, right? These people that have came up against you, they pedestalize people. And that's why they hate you in the first place, because they pedestalized you so much that they wanted to be you, and it backfired on them. Now they walk around looking like a clown. Now they walk around like, dang, my life was already bad, but why did I do this? But it's too late to say why. That's your life for the rest of your life. Because God gave these people chances after chances after chances. Now they think that they could go to the people that work for the where they be at, and say, I don't know what's going on. Oh, they think that they could call up their people and complain 3, 4 in the morning and say, oh, I'm going through this. I'm going through this. Oh, bro, nobody cares. You think people care about your little feelings and emotions now, Mr. Hater? What's wrong? Your chest hurts. You need a hug. You wasn't doing none of that when you was playing with that black magic. You wasn't doing that when you was going to them graveyards doing them graveyard rituals. You wasn't doing that when you was calling all these people up in group chat and the circle up in cars and act like groupies and weirdos. You wasn't doing none of that then, right? So save your tears. Don't cry now, buddy. It's gonna be okay for us. Don't worry. It'll be okay for us. You're in God's hands. You see how the tables turn, right? You're over here smiling. You're over here blessed. You're over here healthy. And you're going to continue to be that. You're going to continue to thrive. You're going to continue to overcome any attempts and attacks that the enemy throws your way. And now that you understand how powerful you are, you don't have to worry about any of these negative situations transpiring and prospering. Yes, they're going to transpire because people ain't going to stop hating on you, bro. They ain't going to stop hating on you, sis. You're only going to grow more and more and more. But the key is be yourself. Stop trying to be liked so much. Be who God created you to be. I don't get in front of you guys trying to be liked because guess what? The person that's trying to be liked will tell you anything, right? They'll tell you anything to get a little bit of money out of you. They'll tell you anything to keep you around. They'll tell you what you want to hear. I'm a take it or leave it type of person because I know people are always going to respect the real, right? And when people are like that and they're upfront like that, okay, at least he's bold enough to tell me the real truth. I don't have to worry about all these behind the scenes type of things because he's going to tell the truth, right? Most people are so worried about this political thing. What do people think about me? All these different kind of things, right? But at the end of the day, they're not thinking about saving souls for the kingdom of God. They're not keeping about, they're not thinking about staying true to who they are. They're not thinking about staying true to who God created them to be, right? They're not thinking about keeping their character intact, keeping that honor, right? Keeping that authenticity, right? I know you guys know me for that too, the authenticity, right? Keep all these things intact because that's you for a reason, right? And this is what separates you from them. And this is why you're not going through their type of karma. You're not the type of person that sits up there and wants to be somebody else. Even if you're going through tough times, you're real enough to understand that, hey, I know how to be happy for people. That way I could be happy. I know how to be happy for people. That way I could be blessed, right? I know how to endure tough times versus wish tough times on other people, right? Especially when you know tough times aren't easy. Tough times hurt. Tough times break a lot of people. So to push these situations on people is cruel, right? But this world, they're like cruel, forget cruel, right? But we serve God, right? We still know how to have swag and not be bullies. We still know how to have swag and not be cruel. To me, that's weakness. To me, you feel me? But that's the best definition of these people. They're weak, right? They're the best definition of weak. They're the best definition of timid, anxious, depressed. And this is why. This is God holding up that mirror, taking that wool off their eyes, right? Taking them blinders off and showing them who they truly are and why their life is the way it is. That way they can never say, oh, God, why, right? Why are things going like this? No. He showed them for 2, 3, 20, 15, 7 years, however long these people have been doing this to you because it's been for a little minute that he's been letting them get away with this just so they could stack up that karma and build it up. But he let them build it up for so long. That way he could play it over in their head and let them know, nah, you been super duper deep. Forget waist deep, you're neck deep. And he been told them to stop and say, hey, if you repent, I got you. It's, I love you. It's not a problem because he loves all of us, right? But these people were so prideful, so egotistical, right? So, envious, so jealous, right? So just rebellious, right? So obsessive that they wanted to do what they wanted to do. They had all their little groupies in the background watching. They can't just go out like that, right? Everybody's watching in Clown Town. I can't just go out like that. Oh my goodness. So they kept pushing. Even though they were dealing with all these different difficulties, even though they were taking financial losses, even though they were waking up feeling fearful and anxious and all these different negative emotions going up and down their spine every day. But if you feel this type of way coming up against somebody and attacking somebody who's not bothering you, why would you do it? See, they already feared your greatness in the first place. So if you fear somebody's greatness and their growth, why would you come up against it? The fear should be like an indication that God is telling you, hey, leave this person alone, right? Because it didn't come from you because you're not a bad person. You're a good person. Everybody knows you're a good person, right? The fear comes from God putting that in their heart because he's letting them know not to mess with you. That's where it comes from. You feel me? And they didn't want to listen. So now they're in negative positions and that's on them. You've prayed, God bless them, God will be done, God, all these different kind of things. They kept coming. Guess what? Now they could cry wolf all they want. Nobody's listening because you have been through certain things that you couldn't even explain to people, right? Number one, they wouldn't listen. And number two, if they did listen, they would think you're crazy. This is why it pleases me, and it makes me like happy when I go down in the comment section, and not only do I see you guys commenting, but you guys are interacting with each other, loving on each other, touching bases with each other. You see our heart every comment. I'm not gonna be bougie with you. Like, you guys support me, I support you, right? But I love seeing that because we're a family, and that's the type of camaraderie that we need. Because who else can you talk to it about? Who else is gonna understand you and not look at you like all these weird facial expressions, right? Because they're not familiar with it, right? But it's okay. And you know, these people, they're foolish, right? They're never going to win. The victory is already ours, right? And your gifts are going to continue to prosper no matter what these people do. And if you know this to be true, don't you be afraid. Top down in that comment section and say, you reap what you sow, and my enemies are doing exactly that. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Don't cry now. Don't cry now. You feel me? Make sure you guys hop down there, like this thing up. Make sure you guys hop down there, share this thing up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button to keep in the loop. Every time we drop, I'll catch you guys on the next one.